She's a ray of sunshine from Minnesota. When she left there it got 1 degree colder. She likes to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, spends all day contributing to global warming. Bless my soul and bless her heart. She's as sweet as pineapple, ambitious and smart. As a whip or a Greek philosopher, she stole my heart. Somebody called an officer. She made my blood rush. I don't think I can live without her making me blush. I'll give her all I can give. My love, my time, my music, all my gold records. All that I can say is that this lady got so betcha. She's a ray of sunshine from Minnesota. When she left there it got 1 degree colder. She helped me forget this little pain in my shoulder. She could melt all the snow from East Virginia to Boulder. She likes to get up bright and early in the morning. She's the #1 cause of global warming. She's the type of woman who is totally priceless. Without her in the world it would turn into ice. Yes, she's a ray of sunshine from Minnesota. She's a ray of sunshine from Minnesota. When she left there it got 1 degree colder. The first time I met her when she sang a cappella, it was so effing hot, she made the bonfire jealous. She's the ray of sunshine. She's the ray of sunshine from Minnesota. She's the ray of sunshine. Something like that. Oh my gosh, that is actually crazy. Microsoft hacking warning. 450 million Windows users' accounts must now act. This does not look good. Everybody's getting hacked. You're getting hacked. They're getting hacked. Everybody's getting hacked. Just look at it. Everybody's getting hacked. There's nobody who hasn't gotten hacked this year. People are like, I'm gonna work in the cybersecurity sector. Like, oh really? Is that your big plan for life? DOJ got hacked. Microsoft got hacked. There's another big hack today. Everybody's getting hacked. Hacks for everybody. But I am celebrating, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm very pleased that like anybody who's ever had to set up OBS for themselves knows live streaming has, it's a process getting it set up. It took me a couple of days here to get all this running, and I just listened back to the last take and it sounds awesome. So I'm very grateful for all these nerds who put these type of software programs together, set it up so that nerds in other lanes like myself can use this beautiful software as a service. I would recommend OBS. It's a little bit complicated. There's a bunch of tweaking, but now we have ChatGPT to help guide us through it. Although you're gonna have to figure out a lot for yourself with ChatGPT. That is a fact. Like, maybe I'm just talking to that machine wrong, but it can be a little hit or miss. But sometimes it's the most amazing thing. Sometimes it's just like, oh my, this is not going well. So yeah, I'm just celebrating. I got my setup set up. I can't really say enough about all the nerd work that must have gone into being able to live stream like this. I've been a fan of YouTube for quite some time in terms of consumption of content. As just a person who likes to listen to people and learn. I read the news and I enjoy the news, but it's hard to explain how it is that YouTube is gaining momentum and up-to-date information, and it's not straight from it's not straight from the source necessarily, but a lot of it is. I seriously doubt that a lot of the things that I've seen live streamed, um, pertaining to the war in Ukraine recently are CGI. I mean, I don't think it's CGI. I'll just put it that way. I don't think it's I'm pretty sure it's coming right from people's cell phones to YouTube and other platforms on the internet. So it's nice to be able to kind of see stuff in real time because nobody likes to be, way behind the times necessarily. So I'm in celebration mode. Happy Tea Day. We're gonna be talking about media in general and all kinds of applications and tech stuff that maybe we can do to improve the world at large. Um, me personally, I'm a white hat type of developer. I don't really do the black hat hacker thing. Um, you know, it's not my job to interfere with other people's online activities necessarily, other than I just kind of create my own space and you know, do my thing. It would be awesome if I could DJ on here, but I don't want to get, afoul of any kind of YouTube copyright restrictions. Um, I get it. So we're gonna keep the music original on here, or unlicensed, or like songs that are so old that they're not even, they're just free domain, public domain. Uh, like here's one for you. Let me get this one queued up. Play it. Un momento, por favor. See, I'll be part like fun radio station, and um, maybe I can get some people that I know and love as a musician and a sound gentleman in the community. Maybe we can get some music playing on here that's original from the community and from people around the world, even. I'm down to grow this station into something pretty interesting, and I think I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time uh, kind of doing my thing. I definitely tend to read a lot, so I think I should read with people and kind of like talk about what I think about it and give some kind of unique perspective. So let's see if I can find y'all a good song to listen to that may not have any kind of copyright infringement. Thanks for bearing with me as I get the hang of this new piece of technology. I'm enjoying messing with it. It's definitely fun. Being on OBS and having this situation where I can kind of do what I'm doing right now is cool. I've had this idea for a while, and I'm glad I'm finally able to bring it to fruition here. So thanks for bearing with me as I get the hang of queuing things up and making it all work the way it's supposed to. Sometimes I hit play on certain tracks like I'm right now, and it's just like giving me the no go. So let's see about finding one that actually plays here. All right. Let's see if this plays for us. 1 second. Thanks. Welcome to American Genius. Episode 1, part 3. It's good. It's good. Regular program. Oh, Mr. Donderback, how could you be so mean? I told you you'd be sorry for making that machine. Long-tailed rats and cinnamon cats no longer can be seen. They're all ground up in sausage meat in Donderback's machine. Continue with the cold breeze. Please set the trees. It's freezing the way you cool down our leaves. The green set the leaves to the trees. We feel at ease as it is not yet the winter freeze. Some leaves calling me down, calling me down to the ground. Something keeps calling me down, calling me down to the ground. A green set the breeze to the leaves. We feel at ease as we blow through the trees. Some leaves calling me down, calling me down to the ground. Something keeps calling me down, calling me down to the ground. Agree, set the seas to the trees. My we've never felt so blue. That's nice. Well, if you want some more of that, that's your boy, One Star Will, JC Ray, leaves the breeze in the trees. Listen, that's some original music on here because I can do that for copyright 2024. It's 2025 and 6. One Star Will, American Genius channel on YouTube. We are live. It feels good. Yes, I am a sound tech. Listen back to the video and it sounds awesome. I'm always going to be better. I feel like I'm running here from outer space. Getting the guys working.
whole station cracking. It's good to be here and be alive in 2024 and 2025. All I can really say is it's a great time to be alive. There's a lot of haters in the world. We see you. You get that. All of us get it. I consider that type of energy to be kind of extreme. Maybe sometimes even more than kind of extreme. I see a lot of good going on in the world. I see a lot of bad. We can talk about the yin and yang of what it means to be an American genius today. There's criminal activity. Oh man, I'm saying. All I gotta do is open up the internet browser and look at the news on any given day. See the Dante's Inferno levels of criminal activity going on in America every single day. It's just so funny because it's like there's always been a history of like petty crimes and bad ideas and not so brilliant geniuses trying to commit sophisticated criminal activity. And you know, hacking is people in fraud, talking just billions and billions of dollars, like the fact of even how it is that drugs are illegal in the United States and people just really don't realize the scope of the opium trade on the black market. Um, you know, a long time ago it was to the tune of a couple $1 trillion a year, but all I was reading on the internet, I read a lot. So I've learned to sift through information for a very long time, long before like Republicans went in out woke. I've been reading and studying people from the ground level and on the internet for a really, really long time. And you know, I wasn't really into Facebook or Instagram or any of that really. I'm just more like I'm kind of famous in the analog world where it was that people could party a lot. So it's nice that I've kind of like adjusted and studied the visual world to the point of being a data scientist and a full stack developer, be able to look at the world. So through the lens of somebody who's not computer illiterate or music illiterate or emotionally illiterate, you know, just through the lens of somebody who meets people in real life and has met hundreds of thousands of people in my life and played thousands of live concerts. You know, I'm a introvert, extrovert to the max. Like I love to nerd out and study. I also love to party, meet people in real life, talk to them about what's going on in the world, hear their perspective, clown everybody. Like sometimes I'm not even super nice about it. Sometimes it's super friendly and funny, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm not out here picking fights and stuff like that. I think that people are, you know, need to probably chill out in that realm. There's wars, there's just arguments, there's every kind of crime of the heart, you know, beyond what's illegal. You got full blown world wars going on practically right now, you know. We can talk about how geopolitics affects every one of us personally on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, without having to like, you know, become any kind of like weirdo cult about it or become some mono block homogenized extreme sort of like following trending clout chasing world within our communities. Everybody's free to think for themselves. You know, I'm a political centrist, for lack of a better way of describing it. You know, I'm over here drinking on like locally made everything organic blended smoothies while I'm doing the podcast tonight. That's the type of person I am on the live stream. You know, I like to party. I listen to rap music. I listen to every kind of music in the world. Like I turn up. I spend all day today listening to, you know, sound checks for my thing, but over the weekend I'm partying to like every kind of hip hop artist, like Rage and Offset and Gunna and all this amazing rap music that's out in the mainstream. It's so funny to see it. Like, I'm sorry, but like when it comes to Nashville, I'm more down with the like underground sound. I appreciate like I appreciate the fact that I've seen Bronwyn Hines come up and win a Grammy with Dierks Bentley. You know, they got a raging bar here. Those cats are, you know, got great taste in music and musicians at that point. I see the band around them. Gotta give them props. Big time. But it's like, I like music that's a little more closer to the ground usually than radio country, if that makes sense. So, like, I like bluegrass music a lot compared to country music in general, modern country. Um, just on a musical level, matter of taste. I listen to more like psychedelic music and um, definitely am a fan of jam bands and that whole world. I super enjoy vinyl records. I've owned tens of thousands of vinyl records in my life. They're really a joy to behold, and I've cleaned thousands of them with Dr. Bronner soap with my friends, and you know, distribute them through the community the same way we do the music. It's like the same way we do everything with the joy in life and all the good things, you know. So I see a lot of people looking out. It's a Thanksgiving Eve morning for a lot of people. It's uh it's like Indigenous Day in a lot of people's minds. People are kind of like battling over these holidays in the public meme sphere and in real life, you know, as a sort of a marker of consciousness that is based in some kind of reality and truth versus like, the kind of like fantasy marketing and commercialism of the United States, which is honestly like the bane of all of our existence here is the over commercialization of everything, which is why I definitely taking donations to Venmo and 1 star will. Like, I hope people will watch this episode back sometime in the future when they're, high and send me some Venmo money. Why not? Send me some Bitcoin. But my Venmo is 1 star will, just like it sounds. I'm here to party with y'all. I'm gonna keep these streams going for a while. I'm gonna hang out here and give people information and play music and bring some joy and into the world in the most chillest of ways. So yeah, Firefox and Windows 0-day security bugs hit by Russian hackers, so be on your guard. There's always something like that every day. People are getting hacked. We're gonna talk about that in detail as we move into the future. We're gonna party together. We're gonna listen to music. Like I'm gonna get this station freaking popping over here. But reading the news is like actually hilarious. When you start to see some of the criminal stuff that people do, it is unbelievably ridiculous. Like when you really think about it, I have a clown everybody attitude. So basically, I'm gonna clown everybody that I see, including myself. Like this station is gonna be hilarious. It's not just gonna be sitting around. Oh, Terrifier. 2024 was the year of the clowns. There's like no doubt about that. This was a big year for clowns. Oh my God. You got everything from like The Cure came out with a new album. They're on tour again. There was a John Wayne Gacy movie that was unbelievable. You have to see it. It's amazing. And so the John Wayne Gacy movie is like amazing clown cinematography. It's totally B movie. It is unbelievable. And then you had the Joker, File Duke. And the funny thing about it is, like, that movie was actually incredible. A lot of people hated on it. I'm not one of those people. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was, you know, in so many ways perfect for the moment. It was awesome, like incredible movie. And then Terrifier 3 came out, and it's just like, oh, lights out, like clown of the year, right? And just when I was getting ready to just like give Art the clown of the year, motherfucking Donald Trump wins the presidency again. And now it's like, oh my God, this whole like, I mean, I was online being like, it's a year of the clowns already. And then I didn't really, honestly, it's hard to believe. So I mean, now in retrospect, I can see how it happened. But um, and we'll talk about that too. You know, mistakes that well, just politicians and politics in general. I was a state delegate here in our lovely state, and so I have this unique perspective on politics in my mind, and I just think that being more of a centrist type of player who is actually computer literate and more emotionally literate apparently than a lot of politicians for some reason. Nobody's really clear on why politicians are not super emotionally literate people. They just seem to be, they try hard, you know, and they end up in positions of power that maybe they're not ready for. And it's kind of like podcasting here, you know. I'm kind of glad I waited until I'm 50 years old here to get into podcasting because now I've had some time, and I'm not even podcasting, live stream. Um, Somebody was saying that earlier, and it seems to have stuck in my head, like mispronouncing Kamala Harris. Um, so you know, it it's a good thing sometimes to like gain experience before you start speaking on things. Um, as you get older, it's a very nice feature of being in middle age. It's like, you know, you see the world from a broader perspective. It is what it is. You know, we're in our place in line and time, and eventually it will all sort of break down and, you know, whatever the fate of Earth is, it's going to take 1 trillion years or more before we fall into some black hole and we'll all take our place in line at the event horizon. Um, and that kind of perspective and just ability to look at the world as if it's not just something that's static, but a thing in motion, where, you know, how we roll in life is important, and sort of watching mainstream trends and understanding the ebb and flow of the society we live in has been really hard on a lot of people, stressful, myself included, but it's definitely something to behold. I mean, we're out in here on a planet, a ball of blue in the middle of nowhere in a universe where there is literally no other sentient life around for ever and ever, and this is what it is. So I figure now from the perspective of somebody who's not a complete noob, you know, maybe I should figure out how I can communicate to people the best way with what I have, which is some tablets and positive attitude. Yeah, we were all dancing to the Drake show right before Not Like Us dropped, and then it just went super ham. It was like, oh my God, like I don't think. I mean, that was like one of the wildest musical moments over that weekend ever. It's not like you had to really like twist people's arms to get them to play that song, but who knows? I don't think people are throwing the snitching allegations around yet, you know, precisely. Other than it's like, I mean, maybe they are. They probably are, honestly. Let's be honest. Um, let's see. Yeah, we were having fun with the back and forth. Uh, just in terms of like dance party and like, oh, this is a big musical moment. I you know, obviously it's great to see Dr. Dre on top of the music game for a very long time, along with that whole outfit because like the Eminem record was unreal. I mean, come on, that's album of the year in my mind. Humbly submitted. I mean, honestly, that was like definitely doper than Music to Be Murdered By, even, you know, and it's like that record sounded perfect the whole time. So, I don't know. Kendrick's got the record of the year for sure. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like, lost the rap battle. I mean, to like 100 other people. Let's see here. Sorry, but the 21 Savage show I saw was unbelievable. That was 21 has been crushing it for so long, it's not even funny. Offset, I mean, come on. Come on. I play Offset music right now, but I'm not getting copyright infringement. uh, I'll throw on a beat though. Y'all can come, you can like chime in a freestyle or something. I don't know. We gotta figure something out. Let's Steve Jobs. Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh, X is making a comeback. You can you can side swipe likes and replies in stream. I'm sure that's fun when like a picture of Andrew Tate's face. Oh my gosh. These guys are so ghetto. It's so weird. Bro, I got plenty of commentary for Elon. I will say this because I've dedicated myself to staying positive on this stream, and I mean, not that I have to try hard. This is supposed to be funny because it is funny when you roll down the screen and read all this stuff. It's like, so the nice thing about having Elon Musk as president, which is awesome, like congratulations, my guy, is that you know if you're into Bitcoin, you're like set to crush. If you're into crypto, like we're taking it legit. And these guys will make it official in the government is the idea. And I think the play here, if I'm reading what I'm seeing through the, there are quotes from Elon through the mainstream media. It's like, okay, so Elon's gonna like government efficiency the United States and do something that's similar to like Greek austerity measures by just like firing everyone in the federal government and making the federal government like way less expensive. And so it is. And people really like not having anywhere to turn and seeing the dollar go down so hard. It's like 20% down in value plus inflation. I mean, people say the Russian ruble is going down, but like, the US has kind of been leading that level of inflation for some time. I mean, it never hit like, 3% a day and set some world record or anything, but over time it has devalued dramatically. It might have taken a little longer, but I mean, when you're looking at things being like 50% higher here, that's kind of what's happening in Russia. So I'm hearing people talk about the devaluation of the ruble and how it is that, like, you know, oh, Russian economy is going to collapse. And I kind of sit there and do some cheap math in my head, and I'm like, I mean, there's a lot happening that's driving the value of the world economy down. And a lot of it has to do with polluting industry and war. And so the way to turn a quick buck is just like buy something from polluting industry and then like, press it up into something that people will buy that's, they're gonna throw away within a year and a day and just keep spitting that out and that like kind of artificially inflates the American economy. And they're even like buying extra like 15% of what are low, American use of plastic and oil is in general, like oil in general, is for 15% of plastic. Like, and so 70% of it goes to cars. Like, it is just bad. It's a lot of plastic and oil pollution and plastic floating in the sea. Somebody put it nicely in the news I was reading yesterday. They were like, it's an oil spill in disguise. It's just a bunch of bottles floating around. I mean, it has gotten bad. And people are really just in the mainstream politics ignoring it. And I think that by bringing that to the table on YouTube, I'm pretty sure and humbly confident and hopeful that I can build a YouTube station by hanging out in here and talking about stuff like that on a regular basis. I think that there is a place for centrists in the world of extreme politics. I think that people like me who are computer literate and musically literate and, martial arts literate, like kung fu type of shit, we don't really have to sit around and listen to the abuse of people who are in mainstream politics and take it sitting down necessarily. And somebody who has something to say about that, I'm noticing, which is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, honestly. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston sets up a firestorm with vows to resist Donald Trump's mass deportation plans. Now, from what I'm understanding, um, and I've met Mike Johnston. He's a wonderful guy. He's actually a beautiful gentleman. And, if you could hear through the glitching in my earlier podcast, you would hear me talking about how it is that I think a lot of people, more than 50,000 people, would show up out in the streets in Denver if, you know, politely put, like just for what it is. I'm a very real talker. I'm not, you know, running for politics. I'm not trying to impress anyone or start a cult. The truth of the matter is, like, if it gets physical in America, for lack of a better way of describing it, hopefully that works. Um, I think you're going to see a lot more than 50,000 people in the street in cities like Denver. I think you'll see millions and millions and millions of people, similar to what you saw in Occupy. Um, I think that a lot of people, it's not like I'm gonna sit here and reiterate how it is that I feel about extremists in politics. Like, criminal activity is what we're here on this station to clown. So I'm gonna sit here and just clown it for like it is. And one thing about Mayor Mike here is he's definitely not a criminal. He's like a stand-up citizen. People love his family and his grandparents. He's the mayor of Denver, Colorado, quite frankly. I don't know if that carries any weight, but I'm noticing that what's so funny about it is the pushback, and some of the direct quotes from the Trump family. And I've just when I was about to get this whole podcast live stream situation going here, YouTube channel, um, I really started thinking. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and really bring up anything to do with politics, like the Trump family, the personal level of everything that's going on. Um, I just think it gets enough press. And then in the middle of me setting up OBS and really just trying to get the whole live stream studio set up here so that it kind of looks cool at night, we could all hang out and talk about whatever. Um, I think that it's hilarious that this happened. I mean, this is probably the funniest thing. Like, oh my God, when I saw this the other day, I was hoping I could go live immediately because this is like the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's just funny to me because it's hard to explain to people who are really extreme on politics what it's like to live in a place where you have quality leadership. And like it's not about leadership even. It's more about like democracy. Like here in Denver we have democracy on a level that like people don't have. So it is that it's like people are kind of politically jealous of the place who live in other places, even though this is a city full of challenges. So, I had this whole idea, I'm gonna be kind of impersonal and not really like sit around and talk about politics and how it affects me personally or anything like that. And then I see this guy, the mayor of Denver, freaking got Don Trump Jr. coming on being like being like your terms are acceptable. Like that guy is ever gonna do anything besides just sit in an ivory tower somewhere and like sit it out while other people like I mean, good luck walking down the street, guy. Like that will never ever happen. And that's a luxury that Mayor Mike definitely affords here in the city. I mean, I'd say it's hard to explain to people who value money and like weird positions of power um more than just self-respect or common sense. It's extremists on both sides. Like it's not it's somebody who definitely considers themselves a political centrist. I have to look at the extreme politics and like it's honestly the funniest, most ridiculous things you can think of. People are absolutely taking it to the logical extremes, like as if they have some excuse, and it's hilarious to watch. People are gonna like the softest people within themselves. They feel a need to like project some kind of like scary thing, and it's just like, I mean, honestly, it is too funny. So Mayor Mike is basically saying that like he's gonna mobilize the police. Now that would be interesting because the police themselves here in Denver, and what I was saying on the glitched out stream earlier, maybe I'll bring it, maybe I have a local recording I can bring up instead of that one. But the local police here are known for like shooting people in the face with pepper spray bullets. Like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like shooting people in the eyes. Like I remember like just watching this go down on live streams and watching it in LA and all over the world, just like watching the COVID situation where it was like the BLM rallies would end at 8 o'clock, and then like people would just choose to stay in the streets after that. Some people, not everybody, but the official BLM thing was like over, and everyone was in by like the curfew, which is crazy to think about. Like being under a curfew in the United States is really just seems deeply situation appropriate. But I mean, that should never really be a thing, honestly, in the United States, and that's why I'm a centrist. It's because this type of stuff shouldn't be a thing, but it's motivated by the hatred that we see coming from like the lowest level of criminality and just like people with SNAP benefits, right on up through middle class extremists, right on up. It doesn't matter what socioeconomic like level they're on. There's like a whole bunch of racist extremism coming from like the whole entire extremist party, and it's like correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty funny to see that like you would have people. This is how you know it's extreme and toxic. Is like they're like, yeah, we stand for freedom of speech and freedom and all this stuff, and then it's like on the other hand, they're like, yeah, but you can't. What I'm saying? It's just weird. People have double standards and hypocrisy to the point of like, I mean, just the outright naked freaking racism and bigotry and on one side of the equation, and then like I don't know, people just adhere to ideologies. You gotta think about it from the Enneagram perspective and the IQ perspective. So that's the thing. When a lot of times when I talk to people about what I aim to do, what I strive to do in these times, it's like I mean, I've had people in the last couple weeks look me dead ass in the eye and be like, I don't think this and that, and like I'm local to here and all this stuff, and like they got their reasons, you know what I'm saying? But it's all in line with like the worst and most extreme cultures in our country. And, those cats have pretty much elected themselves into running the whole entire federal government. in terms of like the highest positions of power and all the appointees. It is so funny to watch. Like you have to see what's about to happen. Like, hopefully a lot of people aren't gonna die. I don't know. Trump's always been kind of a peacenik. Elon is like clearly a brilliant genius compared to anybody in the DNC or the Democratic hierarchy. Like I don't think that I'll put it this way, like Democrats should have had a closer relationship to any like tech billionaire that's worth their salt, but I don't know that anyone exists that's really like not completely tied up in polluting industry. So I don't think there's a tech billionaire who's not involved in polluting industry who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna give Kamala Harris $75 million a day or whatever it was. It's like, oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? That's a lot of money. Or was it a month? I can't remember. That's still a lot of money. Pretty much buying his way into politics and setting it up so that if you're into crypto, you can win. So, being a blockchain developer myself, maybe you would be interested to tune into my podcast here, my live streams, and see what I have to say about the world in which we live. Um, I fully intend to keep it professional and play awesome music for you that you can totally dig. In the meantime, I'm going to make myself another drink and party with you well into the night. This is American Genius live stream with your host, One Star Will. I hope you're enjoying your turducken morning so far. Get ready to party. Probably eat too much. It's all good. Go organic. People say there's not a difference. It's not true. Go beyond organic when you can. Today, we are brought to you by TDI's infamously good turducken. Get it in slices at a grocery store near you. What's going on, everybody? We are now in on the public version of the chat. I was saying how amazing my voice sounds, and you are tuned in to American Genius live stream. We're here for all the lonely hearts out there in radio land. Yeah, I feel good. All right, let's see. What do I got for y'all tonight? I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to play a little tune to intro you. We're brought to you by TDI's infamously good turducken. Get it in slices. Now available at a participating grocer near you. Thank you kindly for tuning in to the American Genius Podcast live stream. Keep saying podcast, I'm not really sure why. I'm going to give you a little music while I make myself a fresh drink and carry you on through the night. Hope you're feeling good out there in Turducken Land. It is Turducken Day, none other than. Hope you're feeling kind, and here's some music to ease your mind. I do apologize. Sometimes the sunglasses make it hard to see it now.
Sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah. Oh, that sounds perfect.
So yeah, I guess I'm in G. It's kind of E minor, maybe.
Totally.
Yeah. With G, B, E minor. Seems we got a piano in here, huh? Is it tuned? Check the tuning. It sounds good.
Yeah, tune us all good.
Yeah, it sounds good, actually, yeah.
Come on, can we please have some turducken? Come on, Pop, can we please have some turducken tonight? Come on.
And we are back. She's so kind for your patience. We brought to you tonight by TDI's infamously good turducken. Yeah, we're having a good time. Let's see. I hope you enjoyed that jazzy fizzle little clip I had for you right there. That is also a 1 star Will